This is Gilbert America This Week, a look back at last week's Gilbert Indians football action and a look ahead to tomorrow night. Presented on Carolina's Community Radio by the Twin City News, Batesburg, Leesville hometown news source since 1925. And Gilbert Coin Exchange, located on the Augusta Highway in the shops at Gilbert. Now, here with Indians coach CHAD LEAPHART is the editor of the Twin City News, Tony Bauman.
Welcome into this edition of Gilbert America This Week. I'm Tony Bauman, and it is week 2 of high school football. Hard to believe that I'm saying week 2 of high school football on the 1st of October, but sure enough, here we are. It is the second week of football, and I am joined by the head coach and athletic director at Gilbert High School via the magic of modern technology. We're in full COVID mode today, Coach CHAD LEAPHART. How you doing, Coach?
Doing great, Tony. Glad to be here. These Zoom meetings, they're getting to be an old hat, so all good.
Well, it really is. I think it's great that we can do this way and stay safe. In that note, let's jump right in and and touch on that with your group. How's everybody doing? Is everybody healthy over there? I know that we're getting a lot of headlines all over the state of programs that are getting shut down, postponed, moved around. You guys are healthy at Gilbert America. Yes,
we're doing great. Kids are good. Everybody's good. We're moving forward, and just keeping our fingers crossed that everything stays that way for us and our kids.
Well, and we are too. You have been affected by COVID-19 indirectly in that, there was that big game coming up on the 30th of October with Lexington. And they've had to move things around because of some COVID issues. What's the status of that game right now? Do we know anything about that? I know it's a few weeks off yet, but that was going to be a big game for you guys.
Yeah, we've actually lost the Pillion game as well. Pillion High School their football program was shut down earlier this week, and so they're having to move region games. So both our two non-region rival games at the end of the year now, they're not going to happen, Lexington and Pillion. So we're looking at replacements. We have replaced the Pillion game already. That will be at Allendale Fairfax. That night on November 6th. That was a matter of Wade Hampton played Allendale Fairfax. That last game of the year was kind of their rival game. But now Wade Hampton, because of Pillion, Wade Hampton and Pillion will be playing that night. So it's kind of like, we just signed up with Wade Hampton's opponent and kept it simple. And so that's who we'll play on November 6th. We'll be at Allendale Fairfax.
Still looking at that 30th.
Yeah, as for replacing the Lexington game, we're still looking. Possibility, though, we might be able to get Gilbert Batesburg going. So that's what we kind of maybe keeping our fingers crossed that might work out. So, in a year when we thought that wasn't going to happen, now it may happen. So, but maybe can confirm that here in the coming days.
I think a lot of folks would be very, very happy if that were to bear out, because there were a lot of people who were disappointed that game wasn't going to happen. But COVID-19 is this most unusual year, and everything now is it. Most coaches say they take it game by game, week by week. I think in the age of COVID-19, you have to think every week is a game by game, week by week situation, whether you're even going to play or not.
Oh yeah, and it's almost day by day, to be honest, the way things are right now. It's that stuff with Pillion came out of the blue this week and sent us to scrambling, and it's every week so far. Sure enough, it's been something like that. So,
how tough is that for you as a coach to plan? I mean, I know you take it week by week, but to have to sort of keep all these balls in the air at one time while you're trying to prepare for opponent on Friday night.
Yeah, it's a lot more moving parts this year for sure than typical. So that's it's taking some getting used to, and you just have to do things differently and do the best you can with everything that's happening. So it's between all the moving around and stuff, and we're doing ticket sales out of our office here at school now, and so that's eating up a lot of our time during the day is selling tickets.
Well, we are excited to be coming to Gilbert America tomorrow night. It's going to be, last week, of course, was a big week. We'll talk about that game in a few minutes. But let's remind folks right from the get-go how situations are going to be tomorrow night for the home event. Obviously, very limited attendance.
Yes, we're operating off limited capacity, first of all. So our max is going to be 800 people. So, that's going to be well under what typical crowd is on a Friday night in Gilbert, America. So we've done the ticket sales this week. We've got some that we're still selling right now, but they could be gone. There might not be any for Friday, put it that way. And there's certainly not going to be any ticket sales at the gate. So people that show up at the gate without a ticket are going to be turned away. People that do have a ticket and come Friday night are going to have to wear a mask. That's part of the protocols and procedures we have in place. Very important. So folks need to have their mask to enter our facility, and they will need to keep their mask on in our facility. So that's a big thing right now for us, and for all of us, so that we can continue to keep doing this and keep playing football.
Well, I see around your neck right now, you've got a branded gator. Is that you got a branded gator or a mask there? So there, for folks who have to wear masks, and there is merch available, right?
Yes, we've actually been selling some of those at our office. I actually still have a few more of these gators if anybody needs them out here for $15. But we really don't have many of those left either. We've sold a lot of them.
How much are they again?
$15.
$15 for a gator. That's a good deal.
Yep. That's got our logo and all kind of stuff on it. So and I've gotten used myself. I've gotten very used to wearing these things here lately. So they're not bad at all.
Well, it is the new normal, and as you said, limited seating. Everybody's got to wear a mask in the stadium, and concessions are even different.
Yep, concessions are different. Most everything will be of the pre-packaged variety. Now we will still have some like chicken tender baskets, things like that for folks if they want some heavier food, but it will be sealed up instead of like in an open container that like some of that stuff's been served in the past. We won't have Bojangles this year. It's simply unable to do it with the COVID-19 restrictions and limited. And to be honest, limited capacity makes it difficult for them to come out as well, just to be worth their while with the smaller numbers that we will have in attendance. So no Bojangles this year, but the canteens will be open. They will have food. There will be stuff available for folks, but it will be different. And of course, we got the little markers for people to wait in line 6 feet apart, and so that will be an expectation as well. And then kind of as far as hitting on a couple other things, we do have seating pods in our stadium for folks coming to the game. They're basically 6-foot strips of tape, and they're 6 foot in between them. And so, families can sit there in those pods together. It's okay for them to sit with one another, but if they from the same household. But we do ask the folks that follow the strips of tape, and that will keep them spread out and keep them safe. And and then in our student section, we have, since that would be more just individuals, and we know they're not in the same household, so they have X's where they will sit or stand, and that will keep them at an appropriate distance. So those are also, along with wearing the mask, those are our main expectations for folks coming to the game.
Well, we have updated folks on the current situation with the COVID-19. Let's take a pause real quick, and when we come back, we will talk about last week's big victory, a great way to start off the season, and we will look ahead to tomorrow night. We'll do that when Gilbert America This Week continues on Carolina's Community Radio.
Gilbert Coin Exchange, paying you top dollar for your coins, precious metals, and old jewelry. Named Lexington Life's best coin shop and best place to sell your scrap gold for the last 10 years. Don't forget, Gilbert Coin Exchange also sells coins, gold, and silver bullion. Proud sponsor of the Coins for A's program. Visit GilbertCoins.com online or stop in and see them at 4079 Augusta Highway in the Shops at Gilbert. Gilbert Coin Exchange, proud sponsor and supporter of Gilbert Athletics.
Back on Carolina's Community Radio and Gilbert America This Week, Tony Bowman along with Coach Chad Leaphart. And Coach, We talked about all the protocol in place for tomorrow night. It's not going to be as rowdy a place as normally it would be, but neither was OW last week. I mean, there was a sparse crowd, but that didn't keep you guys from turning it out and playing some solid football. 32-13 win over Orangeburg Wilkinson last week. You got to feel pretty good about that.
Oh yeah, we're excited to start the season 1-0. So that was a big win for our kids. OW is a very talented team, a lot of really good athletes on their team. They also have a lot of size on their team. And having for our kids that are very few of them, we probably only got a handful that truly have Friday night experience, Friday night game time experience. And so for our kids, so many of them that don't have that, to go on the road and play that tough region game against a really good opponent and get the win, very proud of how our kids traveled and responded and pulled the game out Friday night for sure.
Well, you telegraphed it in our preview. This was not a typical Gilbert High School offense that was on the field last Friday night. The passing attack was not what it has been in the past, but by my estimation, by Steve's estimation, good adjustment.
Well, we have to kind of adjust our personnel. That's in the coaching business, that's key for us as coaches to. We have to put our kids in the best position to be successful. And so this year, with the talent that we have and stuff, we feel like we need to hang our hat more on the running game, and that's kind of where we are. And you factor in the no spring practice and no 7-on-7 to further develop a passing game. You factor those things in and where we are, and so we just felt like that, coming out and running the football is going to give us our best chance to win with the folks we got. And of course, we're going to mix in some passes here and there. And there's some opportunities for big plays in the passing game if you can run the ball successfully. But yeah, we're a lot different than the last couple of years where we would throw the ball, 30, 40 times a game. A lot different animal for sure.
No doubt about it. And young Mr. Mason did a fine job. And you got somebody else new who's your field general as well. Your assessment of them after week 1.
Yeah. So first of all, running back Colton Mason kind of carried the load for us. Did a great job. He was a starter at linebacker for us last year, and did a really good job for us on that side of the ball. But wanted to give him that chance at running back. We'd seen him do some things there before and some limited reps, and he's a really fast kid. He runs a 4.55, and he's a 200+ pounds kid. So he's a load, and he really did a great job. Like I said, he had almost 30 carries, 166 yards, and got it in the end zone one time for us. We're gonna be hanging our hat on Colton. At quarterback, we went with Isaiah Whiteside, who is a junior for us. He was quarterback of our JV team last year, and his first varsity start, really did a great job for us, managing the football game and making plays on some throws downfield for us, and also making some plays with his feet, extending the play and making some people miss to get some extra yards. So really did a good job. I think, like a lot of our kids, he came out probably a little bit either too hyped or a little bit nervous, and with the whole situation and everything going on. But once he settled in, like I said, really did a good job for us, no doubt.
Well, and you did have a handful of some penalties and things like that. Was that first week jitters?
Yeah, I think you go have that anyway. A lot of times with the first game of the year, and then like I said, you factor in that we probably got only a handful of kids on both sides of the ball that were true Friday night starters for us last year. So it was a lot of kids, whether they were a senior or junior, or we got some sophomores too. That's that first time out there, and so a lot of them had the jitters and things like that. And but they settled in quickly, and hopefully we're moving forward from some of those things here for this week.
Well, OW put only 13 on the board, and so that Indian defense was a little stingy last Friday night too.
I thought our guys on defense did a great job, and in the first half we had some moments on offense where we were sputtering around a little bit, and our defense held in there and kept the game in there, kept the game tight for us, and really did a great job of getting off the field, getting some key stops. We gave up a couple big plays there, but overall, a great performance by our defense, really.
and not a whole lot that you have to work out there. And I must say, conditioning, your team looked like they were in just prime condition on Friday night compared to, by the end of the game, it looked like OW was a little winded.
Yeah, and we thought that might be an advantage for us going into the game. I think Orangeburg only started workouts August 25th, whereas our kids have been able to work out for the majority of the summer. We had a few starts and stops along the way, and of course we're limited in some things that we could do during the summer. But still, you just compare the two. That we basically we had over 2 months, of doing stuff with our guys compared to them, and I think that told certainly in the second half of the football game. Our guys were definitely in better shape, and that was a huge advantage for us.
Yeah, it really was. And now on the point of conditioning, I mean, obviously you had the time that was allowed by the South Carolina High School League to get them in shape, but at the same time, as looking the way that they did last Friday night, a lot of these young men must have taken the initiative to keep themselves healthy and in shape throughout this thing.
Yes, so we got shut down. I guess it was around March 10th or sometime, and so we spent a lot of time there at home, and nobody being able to do anything. And from March, April, May, it wasn't until June 15th that we actually were able to get back with our kids and do anything. So that was a lot of time. And we sent out virtual workouts. We used technology to keep in contact with our kids in our program and encourage them to work out, and sent them guidance on what to do, what they can do without the weight, having access to a weight room. And Coach Minshew did a great job of sending our he's our strength guy, and he did send the virtual workouts to the guys every day while this was going on. And then the bottom line, though, is our kids, they, of course, could have got all that stuff and not done anything. But I really do feel like the great majority of our kids were working and taking part in those workouts and finding a way to get some work in, whether it's running up the road or doing push-ups in the bedroom and various different things we gave them as far as ideas to do. I do feel like our kids committed to working out during that time.
Well, it definitely showed last Friday night. So you go through the first week of the season with that win, 32-13 over Orangeburg Wilkinson. Tomorrow night, you take on this Fox Creek program out of North Augusta. They're coming into Gilbert America, and they're coming off of a 41-6 loss to Brooklyn Casey. Complacency?
Well, I hope we address some of that Monday at practice. I think our guys were very happy about the win, maybe a little too happy, and maybe seeing the result of the BC Fox Creek game, thought this was going to be a week that they could be fat and happy. But I think we addressed that this week, and I feel like our guys are going to be focused on Friday night. And and the big thing with this year is, I try to tell our guys we don't need to be looking ahead anyway, because all we know is we got this week. Who knows what it's going to bring next week with COVID and everything. So, let's be thankful that we get to play football Friday night, and because there are a lot of people that aren't right here in our district even. So I think our guys get that, and so I don't think they're going to take anything for granted, no matter who we play in. And we pointed out too, Fox Creek, they have some really good players on that team. They might have lost big to BC, but BC's really good this year. And Fox Creek has an offensive lineman, Nick Williams. He's 6'5", 300 pounds. He has 15 offers right now from various Division I football programs, including Florida and Penn State. So, we don't have any guys with offers like that. So, they got some dudes sprinkled in there that can play.
Well, and this is a program too that you don't have a history with, and so what about Fox Creek, from whatever limited film you've been able to see.
Yeah, it's so kind of like last week in that regard. That was the first time Gilbert ever played Orangeburg Wilkinson in high school football, and this will be the first time that Gilbert's ever met Fox Creek in high school football. So definitely some new teams and new faces for our kids to play, and so it's all new. And with the little bit of film we had, we do have a little bit of film on Fox Creek, and really what I know about them is, from some of those years up at Strom Thurman, and when that school was just getting started and stuff, and they've really grown, and that, they're up to 3A in our region now. And so it's, it's certainly a place that has grown over the years, and and their football program has too since they first started. And they had a tough loss last week, but it's really a program that I think's on the up down there by the looks of things.
They had some good success in 2A, that's for sure. I mean, this was a team that came out in a very, very short time, a program that in a short time served notice that they were going to be competitive. And now they're playing here in 3A, and they're playing the likes of Gilbert High School.
Absolutely. I mean, our kids are going to have to be focused, and they're going to have to bring it Friday night. Like I said, they have some really good players on their team, and it's certainly a program I feel like on the rise down there, and they will come here. They will be excited, just like ours. They got an opportunity to play football Friday night that not everybody in the state has. So I'm sure their kids are going to be fired up just like ours.
Well, let's hope everything that holds well. Beyond the COVID, health check for the Indians. Everybody healthy?
Yep, we came out of the game last week good shape, and so that's always a positive for sure.
No doubt. You don't have to second game in of the season. Don't have to worry about being too banged up. But I wanted to check and make sure of that that everybody was healthy on the roster.
Yep.
All right, we'll take a pause. When we come back at Gilbert America this week, we'll take a look at some of the other programs, and we'll final thoughts of Coach CHAD LEAPHART when we return on Carolina's Community Radio.
Gilbert Coin Exchange, paying you top dollar for your coins, precious metals, and old jewelry. Named Lexington Life's best coin shop and best place to sell your scrap gold for the last 10 years. Don't forget, Gilbert Coin Exchange also sells coins, gold, and silver bullion. Proud sponsor of the Coins for A's program. Visit GilbertCoins.com online or stop in and see them at 4079 Augusta Highway in the Shops at Gilbert. Gilbert Coin Exchange, proud sponsor and supporter of Gilbert Athletics.
Back on Carolina's Community Radio and Gilbert America this week with the coach of the Gilbert High School Indians, CHAD LEAPHART, and also athletic director. So this final segment each week, we want to give you an opportunity to give some shout-outs to some of the other athletic programs that are unfolding there in Gilbert. So, Coach, floor is yours. What's good to talk about this week?
Well, I know last week I talked about our girls golf and volleyball teams, and they're doing a great job, and they're continuing. The girls volleyball team did have the big win against OW last Thursday night, which put a tie now in our region for first place. That ultimately, maybe in a couple of weeks, we're going to have a tiebreaker game to settle, depending on how results go. So the girls are doing great there. But wanted to talk about our girls tennis team. They're also doing really good right now. They're 5-1, have a 5-1 record. Coach Patty Spires is our coach. She does a great job with that program. They have a couple big matches coming up next week with, I think, Monday at Brooklyn Casey, which, will probably be region championship on the line with that team next week. So really proud of the job she's doing and the job that the girls are doing on the tennis team there.
And I know that when I open up my email, I see a lot of good hardware coming through from the golf team as well. That golf team is doing well too.
Absolutely. They right now they're looking. I think they're ranked in the state, of course, and right now they're kind of neck and neck as 1 and 2 in the state and 3A with Chesney High School up in the upper part of the state. And so we're really excited about how things are going to play out with our girls golf and with region and coming up, and then also, of course, lower state and state coming up here at the end of the month. So, but Coach Nix does a great job, and and the girls on the team have also done really well with that program. They will certainly have a shot to win a state championship. I feel like here toward the end of October.
Well, it's just a tremendous athletic program there at Gilbert High School. We're proud to be associated with it this year with high school football. Tomorrow night, Steve Smith and I will be over at Gilbert America. Looking forward to it. And ideally tomorrow night when Steve trots down onto the field, mask in hand, mask on face, microphone in hand, we'll be talking about a 2-0 season for the Gilbert Indians. Final thoughts on tomorrow night's game, Coach?
Yeah, and I want to also add too, talking about tomorrow night's game, we're having some recognition for a couple folks.
Senior night. It's senior night.
Yep, we have our seniors. So we are going ahead and and doing our seniors first. I know, traditionally in the past, it's been senior night's the last home game of the season, but like a lot of schools, we didn't want to take that chance and risk, missing that. So we got our game Friday night. We're going to go ahead and recognize our seniors. So our senior football players, our senior cheerleaders, our senior band folks, our senior athletic trainers, and our senior dance team members. Basically our Friday night participants, those folks that have a role, have a part in Friday night. And so we definitely want to honor those seniors, tomorrow night and give them some recognition, and their parents for all they've done to get to this point. So definitely that we got that going on. Also, before the game, we're going to recognize Brennan Kraut, who was a state champion wrestler for us last year. He has his state championship ring, and so kind of like his ring presentation there, and recognize him. And then also, too, we're going to recognize Tucker Veroni and Landon Gramlin, who were the high school fishing world champions.
Yes.
They won the world championship this summer. And very proud of those two guys, and what they accomplished. They won that tournament up in Wisconsin, actually. And so we're proud of what those guys have done representing us here in Gilbert, America. So we definitely got a lot of recognitions that we want to get in tomorrow night with that first home game. We'll definitely have a lot of stuff going on with that. And then, of course, we're going to play the ball game. And, again, I just want to say that we're happy to get to play football on Friday night, and our kids will be fired up about it.
It's going to be a great night, and, of course, Steve Smith and I will be looking forward to. I'll go on the air tomorrow night at 6 o'clock with the tailgate show. 7 o'clock, it's the pregame show, and then at 7:30, we're going to call all the action as the Gilbert Indians entertain the Predators of Fox Creek. It is conference football. It's football in the midst of a pandemic, and you can listen to it. If you can't get one of those very select 800 tickets for the game tomorrow night, we certainly want to invite you to listen right here. Download the app and or listen online on the desktop and catch every play on Carolina's Community Radio. And glad to be a part of the team, Coach. Really glad to be a part of it.
Absolutely. Glad to have you guys broadcasting our games. You guys do a great job, and I know we had a lot of great feedback last week from folks in the community talking about it on the Orangeburg game. So,
man, we're happy to be a part of it. All right, that's got to do it for this edition of Gilbert America This Week. I'm Tony Bowman for Coach CHAD LEAPHART. Have a great rest of your evening, and check out the video to be posted a little bit later tonight on YouTube. See you tomorrow night at Gilbert America.
This has been a production of Carolina's Community Radio Sports. Join us tomorrow night for live Gilbert High School action right here on the Midland's home of news, weather, sports, and the rhythm of the South. Carolina's Community Radio.